Chapter 46, Survival of the Fittest, or so I thought, but moving stealthily, I observed the battle of the other monsters while escaping in haste. Gee, the lower layer is terrifying. Where are we? Okay. The mantis, which I thought who was very strong, it's only around the mid-level in here. This place is a treasure house of monster with monsters like the large spider that ate the mantis, the lion with wings, and the serpent that looks like the snake's evolution form. Naiwa. I moved while hiding so that I won't be discovered by those guys. At present, I managed to go past it somehow without being discovered. Well, it's the end when I'm discovered. And then my red total stamina gauge began to decrease because I'm endured to sleep and continued to move. In the end, I still don't know why it didn't decrease, but finally a time limit has been displayed. It's necessary to eat before this numerical value of 38 runs out. However, because there's no suitable target for me to kill, I decide to sleep on that day. To be frank, I was not able to sleep. That's obvious. Up until now, I will make a simple home and sleep within it so that it's safe when I'm sleeping. However, when thinking that sleeping safely is in such a huge monster house, a simple home is just not enough. I have to make a home firmly, but if I do that, I would stand out. I don't want to stand out that much. In other words, the earth dragon is scary. If I make a nest firmly, the earth dragon might chase after me. Persecution complex? How should I know? Earth dragon is scary. Seriously scary. No. Therefore, I slept without making a home for the first time in life. I was very uneasy. I never know that sleeping outside the home makes me feel so helpless. I doze off, woke up by the sounds, and I doze off again. Just like that, I was unable to sleep soundly. Next time, I should make a simple home as a temporary peace of mind. Although I can still endure, if the lack of sleep continues as it is, I feel that something is going to happen someday. Well, I think that it's somewhat okay because my average sleeping 4 hours is only 4 hours in my previous life. Well, the sleeping is like that, but the problem is the meal. I must somehow get a meal in this monster house. Even though I become determined, it looks like I can somehow get the meal. Because there's a food that can be obtained easily. I thought of it before. The strength of the monsters here are unusual, but among these strong monsters, there are also monsters that look relatively weak, which I saw before in the upper layer. The snake is also one of those species. I never thought that the day I will say that the snake is weak would come. Therefore, I'm interested in what those. Switch the letters. I'm interested in what those weak monsters eat. After all, the weak can only be eaten. Such a thing is obvious in the world of survival of the fittest. Up until now, the trend of this dungeon is exactly that. Still, these guys are relatively sneaking around. The bee must have made such weak monsters their main target. And as a result of observing such weak monsters, I understood that there's a certain common point in these guys. All of them have poison. This is what you called to see the light. Because I was born with poison resistance, I didn't mind eating it, but normally a person won't eat poison. Even though it's weak, monsters without poison resistance won't eat them willingly because they have poison. Then I might be overlooked for such a reason even if I'm discovered. Although I say that, it's better to stay hidden, so I should keep on sneaking around. I understood that those weak monsters mainly eat two things. One is other weak monsters. This is the main. A weak guy fights with another weak guy. I think that I should kill it with a surprise attack if there's a chance after confirming that there are no strong monsters nearby. One more is this is what the weak monsters eat when there's no other choices. Elro Garish, level 3, failed to raise its status. The appearance of that guy is a flat black insect. However, in my image, it looks more like a snail. Those guys stick to the labyrinth's wall and creep slowly. The appearance is just like a snail. Let's call it the snail insect. There's a lot of snail insects in this lower layer. When the wall enters the site, at least one of them can be seen. It is a lot to that extent. Although about it shallowly... Going a little insane here. I thought about it shallowly, and that why the other monsters never eat it, even though there's so much of it. Yes, I was shallow. After I had resolved myself more, it was necessary to confront this guy. I can't even regret, even if I want. even if I want. I noticed it after eating it that eating this guy really is the last resort. Yes, I ate this guy. I have eaten it. I pull it off from the wall with the threads and I kill it easily with Poison Fang without knowing this guy's true terror. I want to warn my past self who said itadakimasu leisurely. It was really unappetizing. That's not the taste of the world anymore. After being reborn to a spider, I have ate various strange things, but that is a no. It was unappetizing to the extent that my HP even decreased. That's absolutely not a food. Somehow my corrosion resistance rose, but it's not a good thing if I think with common sense. There's no belief that I shouldn't leave leftovers. I will never finish eating it. That's why the food can be obtained immediately. But it comes along with an intense pain. Well, starve to death and death after eating an unappetizing thing. If I were to pick which one I hate, I would say dying. Both of those are dying. Let's eat the small insect again when it's really hopeless. Though I will pray that it won't happen as much as possible. Huh, okay, so yeah. Obviously, she's going down into, the harder parts, and she's kinda underleveled. Or she thinks she is. She can still fuck up them bees pretty well. So, alright. We'll see.